What's up, everyone? Dude, let's chat here. We are going to be discussing the Xbox Showcase. It was fantastic. I've got Hey Ice here, of course. What is up, Ice?
How's it going? Yeah, it's been a while since we did one of these videos. Happy we're back
It's
to doing it.
it's so true. But you kind of can't say something when you've got something like that Xbox Showcase coming out, especially after the controversy of the shutdowns. But Ice, what did you think about the showcase overall?
So I let it marinate for a little bit, right? I let it marinate. I was like, so in hindsight, like right off the bat, right? Right off the bat, I'm like, this is a phenomenal showcase. If Game Pass needed anything to help advertise itself, this was that showcase, right? It had everything the Sony showcase and or what's it called? Whatever the PlayStation. What's it called, dude? Uh, Whatever. PlayStation's version of this and Summer Gamefest. What it had like a lot of third party announcements, right?
Mm,
Which is something you're not accustomed to Xbox having anymore. They did in the past, like 360 and stuff, but everyone knew like third party was mainly advertised on PlayStation or at that time E3 and whatnot, right? And this kind of felt like an E3 type of deal. My only thing is, Xbox, as of the last showcase, knows how to throw a showcase,
mm, yep.
and everyone knows when Xbox does something good, something bad follows. so So all in all, just as the showcase itself, I was very 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 pleased with it. I loved it. I thought it had a little bit of everything for everyone. Some new games were announced. Some games were showing. Some games were showing gameplay. And yeah, man, just yeah, just I know it's a little longer than I expected, but yeah, it was great. It was
I'm
great.
definitely I'm definitely hoping that we got the reverse this time, where we had something horrible happen and then an awesome showcase. So
Yeah.
I'm really hoping I'm hoping that is the norm. I'm hoping that that is just what happened. This showcase to me came out swinging. We got to see some pretty amazing titles, things we were hoping to see. Of course, more Fable. We saw Perfect Dark. We saw South of Midnight, something I was personally wanting to see a lot of. I was really hoping we'd see more of that. And then some just out of nowhere Expedition 33, Mecha Break, Frag Punk, just these things that just took me by surprise. I personally loved the showcase. Even the things that weren't necessarily appealing still looked pretty good. So I'm looking forward to some of these things. Now, Ice, if you could pick one thing that was your favorite thing, what would you say it would be?
Oh, I feel like I speak for the masses when I say the full name, but I just call it like the 33 game.
Expedition 33. Yep, yep, yep.
Expedition 33, that game for sure. But because I know everyone else will say that, I'm not gonna say that. But I threw it out there subtly to kind of pretend I said it. But no, one game I'm actually looking forward to, and it's maybe kind of like people will be like, "What?" It's honestly Fragpunk.
It
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 looks
looks cool.
It
Like,
looks phenomenal. Like, you know what? I know there's someone out there listening that's not gonna like this comment, and it's okay. Hey, how you doing? Um, After watching this PlayStation showcase with Concord, I'm like, we don't need more hero shooters.
okay,
That
okay.
game looks phenomenal because there's nothing wrong with the same. So here's the thing, Juice. There's nothing wrong with going with the same formula per se. It's just what makes yours different from the others, right? And I think the whole
Okay.
card based concept is kind of cool.
Okay, I can respect that. I'm not as big into the card game aspect being pushed into a lot of games, but I will say that watching the Frag Punk showcase had me feeling like I did when I first watched Hi-Fi Rush. Now, not completely. Obviously, when Hi-Fi Rush
That's a
showcased in the
bold
Xbox
statement there,
Direct,
Cotton.
I'm not saying that it gave me the same feeling of, "Oh, man, I'm gonna play this." It's more of just the the way it went, where first it was showing it and I'm like, this isn't really my niche. This isn't my wheelhouse. This is not my type of game, and it's a card base. It's not how I'm feeling about it." Towards the end of the showcase itself for that game though, I was like, okay. That's a little
If
interesting. So it gave me that
if
feeling of like being completely negative to being able to shift my perspective to, you know what? I think I
if
would try that.
if I may add something to
What's up?
Fragpunk. So people may have forgotten this because even though in a way it was a popular game, it wasn't overly popular. But this isn't the first shooting game that implements cards.
No, no.
And from my personal experience, I'm sure there's others, but from my personal experience, the first shooter game that implemented cards was actually Titanfall.
Mm, mhm. No, that's
And
fair.
I'm thinking, is it of this type of card? Like, I'm sure there'll be more in depth, but I remember in Titanfall, you open up these packs, you get these cards, and obviously, I mean, in the game when you use them, they're gone, right? And you just have to unlock it again. Which I mean, they came in bunches, but I remember making like, I think it was like you hold up to like 5 or 6 cards or whatever, and like one gave you all like always UAV, another one gave you an OP weapon, another one gave you a specific type of Titan or gave it an ability. Like if it's like that, that's gonna be sick.
Mm.
Like a more fleshed out version of that's gonna be sick. That's why I'm kind of like I'm intrigued in it because I mean, because I loved when Titanfall did it, and I know these are apples and oranges, but growing up, me and my brother played uh, card game RPGs. One being or JRPGs, one being Bat and Kato's. So for
Mm.
me, cards, anything that implements cards, I'm always intrigued with.
I can respect it. For me, I don't mind it. Of course, I played like the Kingdom Hearts games with the card games. I do like a good card game in a game. I just feel like at some point in the last few years we have moved to this. It's kind of like what was it in 2022 to 2023 when they really was pushing farm simulators into every game it felt. And the card game system, to me, there are certain places where it just doesn't thrive. And I would refer back to like Back for Blood, where it's like, that's not really, it didn't do the best for it. And I'm not saying the card game was the only issue with that game. I'm just saying that it probably didn't help it. That being said, I'm willing to, I mean, I've watched that trailer now 3 times, showing it off and looking at it more, and I'm like, "You know what?" That's what I reference my feeling of Hi-Fi Rush, because when I first saw Hi-Fi Rush on the Xbox Direct last year, I was like, I don't know if this is my game." And slowly I converted to, "You know what? I'm gonna play this." And I didn't get to that point with this, but I am saying that, Game Pass, I'll try it, you know? I'll try it
Yeah.
out, certainly, it looks good. For me, I'm going to say South of Midnight. I
Well, you're wrong.
I
I'm
don't
just
care.
kidding.
Honestly,
No,
I
that
don't
game looks
care either.
phenomenal.
I
That game
have
looks
been wanting
great.
I loved it last year in the showcase. I've been waiting for
Uh-huh.
more on this game, and it looks good. I like the aesthetic. I'm looking forward to this game. I really wanna play it. It's
I
it
love the
that
art
is
direction they went with it too.
dude, and I'm not taking away from any other game that was showcased. Now, speaking of that though, all the other games that are showcased, what would be the one that you were just kinda like, "I expected more," or was your least favorite from the showcase?
I expected more, or my least favorite. Okay, so
Yeah.
let me think. I would
I'll give you
say
some time to think on that. For
you got
me,
one.
Yeah, for
Okay, cool.
me, admittedly, watching the Fable cinematic, and I brought this up before. Now, it doesn't look bad, of course, and it's a Fable game. It's going to be fun, and I see they're bringing a lot of the comedy and stuff like that. For gameplay aspect, I feel like we didn't get a lot of gameplay within the
Oh yeah.
trailer, and so I wish we would have gotten more. Like, all I could really notice was we saw your character walking in the city to go to talk to somebody. Even more than that, though, some of the cinematic was just kind of weird. The guy sitting in the chair and then throwing the cup behind him looked very stiff. I don't know why that was so off putting, but it's kind of like since they're trying to showcase that this is the best looking Fable and they're really trying to showcase this amazing looking game, to have certain mechanics look really stiff feels like it was put together a little like last minute or maybe just with not enough care to it. I don't know. It was just I guess I expected a little more gameplay footage for that, and I expected it to look not so stiff in certain areas. But overall, I thought it was still pretty good. I'm taking nothing away from it. It doesn't I mean, I'm still gonna try it. I'm still gonna play Fable, you know?
Yeah, for
But
sure.
I'm just like, I don't know. It's just like for that, and maybe it's the difference between what's been hyped up with this because the newest Fable has been hyped up since Xbox Series X dropped, and they were showcasing what they were going to be bringing to the console, and that was by and far the best thing when it was first showcased. Between that and Halo Infinite, I believe it was on the same show for that, and everybody had to agree. It's like, well, that looked good, but it was just kind of a cinematic opening of, hey, we're doing Fable again, you know. And so I'm
Yeah.
just waiting for more. So maybe it's also that it's like I'm waiting for more. I feel like we're to the point we should be having more from that, but I also am not. Hey, I'm not telling them to rush. I'm just saying, hey, as far as the showcase goes, I expect a little more from the Fable showcase. That's my perspective. But what about you?
See, it's hard because like I didn't really have one per se.
Mhm.
Because like there were a couple drop like because a lot of these games were new announcements, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind
Oh
of
yeah.
hard to feel underwhelmed on something I never even knew was coming. That being said, if I were to just say one, and mind you, I take it with a grain of salt because I don't. I, you know what? I got one.
What up? What up?
That is the
Hit
K
me with it.
three.
Well,
Because I like it.
I
Because I feel like
mean,
that was advertised. I feel like that was advertised years ago. And I mean, I guess it's just me. 'Cause I played the second one, right? Or let me just rephrase it. I tried playing the second one, and then when I tried playing it, it was buggy as F, right? So I already
yeah.
have like a bad taste for the game. Secondly, did they show gameplay?
I don't. I don't. Admittedly, maybe I should consider that one to be my pick because, like, I don't. Until you said State of Decay, I forgot that it was even a part of it. It's one of those ones. I bet you I was just talking with some friends through it because it's like, well, it's not really my niche, you know. I'm not really a
Yeah.
State of Decay fan, but I don't think so. I did try to keep a note of games that actually showed gameplay. So
Okay.
yeah,
But yeah, that would be mine. But I do want to give a quick shout out though
what
to
up?
two games, just two games. One being Mecha Break because that game looks amazing.
And so that yeah,
And
that was gonna be the last thing of, like, what was the wild card? Is that your wild card, do you think?
no, 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 no,
Oh,
no, no.
honorable
Gears of War
mention.
E Day.
Ooh. Oh, I had the feeling, or I was in that category of people that was like, "There's going to be a Gears announcement here," but
But it it looks so good, dude. It looks
it
so good. I
does.
mean, granted, it was a cinematic, but even the cinematic looks crispy. We got a young, we got a young Phoenix. We got a young Dom,
Mhm.
and we're
Gosh.
going back in time, which is kind of like it's that's sick, right? But
To
yeah, so
to a
like
place
yeah,
that a lot of people have really wanted, the actual E-Day. Like, not
Yeah,
not just a small little level you could play where they're all freaking out and moving and stuff like that, and not some reference to it, an actual game where you've got the younger versions of Dom and Marcus, and they are I mean, essentially, it looked really good. I think that trailer did a phenomenal job at showcasing not only, "Hey, we're going, back in time, it's the prequel, baby," but also
yeah,
showcasing the inexperience. Like, you would never see Marcus struggling like that against a Locust for that long, and and
yeah.
and stuff like that. So that's why I was like, "This isn't his son." I'm looking, it's like, it looks like a young. When I was watching, I watched a Work in Progress and Gamer Critic, and we I mean, I was just like, I called, I was like, this has to be, like, a prequel because that's a young Marcus." And then it was, and it's like, oh, I admittedly, it's not the shooter that necessarily I was asking for, but now it's the shooter that I want. So I
Right.
am, uh, it was good, dude.
So yeah, that game
Okay.
looks sick.
I'll give you
And
that.
one last thing that
Mine would
and
be
then
a mine would be Mecha Break. I won't spend too much because that one just
yeah,
got me. I thought that was a Gundam game
no, it
until the
looks
very
great.
end, and Mecha
I mean,
Break.
it kind of is. It
I
kind
mean,
of
yeah, like my,
is.
you know what, people might take offense to this. People might not like what I'm about to say, but I am gonna say it. I personally love games that push the bill when it comes to copyright.
Oh,
It is what it is. The funny thing is, I
Power World,
thought
baby.
I mean, I'm just saying that's this year so far. I have no problem with it because ultimately I think it's kind of stupid. You can't have good parodies of things without things looking like other things. And this isn't that wouldn't necessarily be a parody. But what I mean to say is, come on now. You don't own Mecha. Like, I'm hoping this doesn't cause some type of issue in the future because I could definitely hinder the game. But I do like the fact that
I
they
doubt
pretty
it.
much look like Gundam. Yeah, if anything, I'm hoping for a collab. So, but that's my take
Yeah,
on it. But what was the last thing you were gonna say?
I was gonna say, I know it disappointed a lot of people to see Perfect Dark look pretty solid and not in purgatory suffering. Because when I saw that, cause I said this years ago, right? Or not years, I was, yeah, like last year, the year before. I was like, what's gonna help make or break Xbox is how they perform with Perfect Dark. Mind you, this was before Indiana Jones was announced. At least
Yeah,
I think it was. I mean, they may have been around the same time. But I was like, Perfect Dark's gonna be that one because it's a game that has history. It's a game that a lot of people love, minus the 360 one. Some people don't like the 360 one. And this is a chance to reboot an old IP that is yours with a developer that you just created.
yeah,
You
and
know,
not only that. So, like you said, it's got the history with a little bit of mystery. A lot of people have played it, even more haven't. Let's be fair, that just know of the game and maybe experienced it later than expected and still liked it and still have joined that cause to want a Perfect Dark reboot, of course. But the biggest thing is it's incorporating mechanics from other games as well. The fact is, anytime I see an incorporation of Mirror's Edge, which was a great game back in the day,
beautiful.
yeah, and incorporating that into a game like Perfect Dark, I like it. The parkour aspect might not be for everybody, but I certainly appreciate it. I think it's going to be fantastic. Yeah, like I think it was just a great showcase overall. Now, are they going to be able to, to swing in full? Are they going to follow through? Well, that remains to be seen.
And this brings up my last point
Yeah,
is
yeah.
when people are like, where's the release date? Where's the release date? And I told you release dates are fine and all, but I don't care for them. Just give me
Hmm.
the year it's gonna come out. Just give me the year because we don't know. Games get played all the time. So at
Yeah.
this point, a release date is it what does it actually like what weight does it carry these days, you know?
I would
So
much
just
rather
say
them push back a
2024
game.
or 2025.
Yeah, I'd much rather them push back a game and it come out immaculate than to get rushed
Exactly.
and set a date that might be a little too early. But I get it too. We want it to happen. In any case, that's pretty much it, guys. Overall, we like the showcase, as you can
Get your
hear.
heart out, Sony.
I mean, I I
I'm
definitely
just
can't wait.
I'm just trolling.
No, no.
That was
I
just a
mean, it
troll.
is what it is. You know what? You know what? I'm gonna do a special shout out to it. People may have gotten onto the state of play, but my thing is, did the Xbox showcase have Monster Hunter Wilds? I think not. Absolute loss. So it is what it is. Monster Hunter Wilds coming out as well. Just kidding. Xbox Game Pass showcase was good, especially for Game
Oh,
Pass. What's up, buddy?
oh, I'm sorry. I have one more point to bring up. Sorry, I'm so sorry. It just
No,
keeps
no,
coming up.
no. No, I mean, it was a good
I
showcase.
think we're
Keep
gonna have a
going.
separate video, right? Phil Spencer's comments.
Oh gosh, yes.
We're gonna
Yeah,
have a
we're just
separate
talking
video
about the showcase because
of
again,
Phil
the
Spencer's comments.
yeah, no, we're definitely having a separate talk when it comes to that because yeah, is what is. There are a few things I've
And
got
I
an
gotta
opinion on. Go ahead.
add one dash of toxicity for the fans. Mind
Oh,
you, this is completely satire. But everyone knows a little bit of satire lies some truth. Correct, Juice?
a little bit, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. I mean, like I mean, every good joke contains true stuff,
Everyone is
as
there's people
J. Cole would
celebrating
say.
that the games there are people celebrating that there are games that were announced that are going to PlayStation, which is fine. I mean, a lot of them were third party, which is fine. And just a quick peek, Phil Spencer talking about mentioned more going to other platforms, and which is fine. I've accepted that. For this one reason, Juice, you ready?
Mm.
It can go other platforms, but with Game Pass, I'm not paying $69.99.
Oh well.
Everyone else is.
I mean, there's a
So
lot of implications to and, we've talked before about how, in the grand scheme of things, especially if Xbox has a stake in the company that's going to be sending their games to other platforms, it just means that Microsoft banks, baby, hand over fist. That's what they like to do best is make money.
they get
So,
all the money.
so in either
All right, that's it.
case, yeah, no, thank y'all so much for coming out. You know who we be. We're Dude Let's Chat. We talk game, movies, and all things in between. Catch us on your favorite platforms for social media, and that's Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. You can catch us on TikTok. More than that, you can see us doing things like this. We're hoping to get the recordings going again. We do have a pretty good Smash community that's been opening up more. Come and play with us when we get the chance. We try to do that on Fridays, but ultimately look for
Yep.
us on the weekends when you can. Um, I'll be there as well, trying to do more sporadic things, just kind of depends on my schedule. Thank you all for everybody who's listened, who's come out. Thank you for everyone who's joined. If you want to hear more for us or want to know when we're putting out more content, going live, or even just jumping in for a friendly competition, then subscribe to our channel. Hit that bell. In either case, tell us what you thought about the Xbox showcase. We're going to sign off. So until next time, stay happy, stay healthy, stay beautiful.
Later.